Hey everyone, Chris Stoltz coming at you today from Oaks, Pennsylvania. And the reason I'm in Oaks, Pennsylvania is to take you on a tour of a place that I have been meaning to go to for a long time. The American Treasure Tour Museum. This place is gonna be fantastic. I've seen some videos before, I've seen some pictures. I've never been inside. This will be my first time visiting. They asked me to come out and take a look and hunt for Muppet stuff along the tour, which we're gonna do today. So let's take a tour. Before we even get inside, you can see all kinds of stuff in the windows. Santa Claus is here, Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy. There's like a pumpkin wearing a bucket hat. There's some creepy kid waving. There's like all kinds of just random stuff. There's a McDonald's arch up there. Just all kinds of random stuff that we won't see inside because it's facing the windows, obviously. But it kind of gives you a feel of what we're going to expect once we get inside, because it's gonna be a lot. I should mention that the American Treasure Tour Museum is in the same complex as the Philadelphia Convention Center at Oaks, where we hold RetroCon. So if you're at RetroCon looking for something else to do, you can come here as well. Okay, so we just walked in the building. From the outside, it looks kind of like a nondescript office building, but you can see how massive this building is. It's absolutely insane. I have a feeling we're gonna be here for a while because it goes back a ways, and you don't actually walk around this place. You have to take a tram because that's how big it is. It goes all the way down there and all the way over there on the second floor of this old warehouse. The American Treasure Tour presents the strangest creature of nature. It is pretty strange. It's like the invisible monkey. And you know it's a treasure because it's literally at the end of the rainbow. Here's a schematic of the building, just so you can kind of see how massive this whole place is. Here we have an aerial view of what this warehouse used to be. It actually used to be the BF Goodrich Company plant. They actually made tires here at one point in time. No longer tires, now just all kinds of random buildings and businesses, including the Treasure Tour. The Blues Brothers are here to greet us.
To the store of every day and play with all the brand new toys.
Like I said, this place is massive, and we're gonna be on this tour for quite a little while. Before we even begin, we have a big bird up in the rafters. There's Howdy Doody, brand new mitten box. So we have our ticket. I gotta get in line and get on the tram. It's 4 cars long and is continually packed with visitors.
This area of the museum we call the Toy Box, and you are about to view a collection amassed by one man who wishes to remain anonymous. We honor their request, as he wants the items collected to be the stars of the show. His passion has brought together one of the world's largest collections of pop culture from the 1870s to present day. The collection is constantly evolving, and we like to say, there is always room for more. Say hi to our wonderful gorilla. He stands guard here 24/7 to make sure he is in place to greet all of our guests. Continue looking right. Say hello to Dora the Explorer in the soapbox Derby car. Today she is being co-piloted by Alf. On the left, we have a replica of a Conestoga wagon, along with Cowboy Bob. Our collection got started with automobiles. The first of these is on your right, the blue 1956 Thunderbird. This is a beautiful sports car equipped with a hardtop convertible. These models were made for 3 years between 1955 to 1957 and designed to compete with the Chevrolet Corvette. For a family car, look no further than the next car on the right, and you will find a 1958 Studebaker station wagon. The price of this automobile when it first arrived in the showroom was $1,776. We have around 70 classic vehicles here in the museum, some of which you get to see on foot and some from the tram. If you would shift your focus to the left, we have 3 circus wagons filled with delightful automatons. These displays were early forms of marketing, a tableau of dogs playing poker. If you lived through the 1960s, chances are you remember dogs playing poker in a pool as artwork that hung on many family room walls. These anthropomorphic animals first appeared on calendars that advertised tobacco products and have become iconic in our American culture, and they are still being reproduced today. Please make sure to look at our framed and lighted poster of one of the most famous of these paintings, titled A Friend in Need. Properly titled, as you can see, the bulldog is slipping his buddy an ace under the table. Was he a good dog or a bad dog? Only you can decide. Moving along, we have an assortment of vintage amusement park items on your left, starting with the blue Lug-Seat Brother auto scooters that are known as bumper cars. Following them, there's a 1930 roller coaster carriage made by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company. As we round the corner, there's Albert Einstein on the left, along with a vintage tractor seat collection, as well as vintage tractors. Looking left, check out the typewriters located by the tractors. Why do we have typewriters? The answer is, we have a lot of visits from student groups, and many of them don't know what a typewriter is. In addition to typewriters, we also show young people a payphone and vinyl records. Mind blown. Our favorite animal in this display, Calamity Jane. You will see the Rupp motorcycle, the red cycle with 2 wheels in the back and 1 in the front. This was made in the early 1970s. Elvis Presley had one just like it. Next to the Rupp are beautiful red, white, and blue Stars and Stripes motorcycles. They were made in California and custom built to resemble the iconic motorcycle Captain America from the 1969 movie Easy Rider. But the star of the show in this aisle is the first self-propelled wheelchair invented in this country.
I'm pretty sure all these signs were once used at Sesame Place.
Around the corner and on the right side of the tram, we have a really big shoe. Some people ask why. We ask, why not? This shoe is actually from a now defunct cable channel called Wedding Central. After the shoe is the gigantic Ronald McDonald in his blue jumpsuit, followed by a bicycle built for 7. This red bike is called a Kobe, which is short for Conference Bike. As we go down the corridor, please note that you are in a building that originated as a BF Goodrich tire factory. In the 1970s, they were producing 12,000 tires a day here. Collegeville Costume Company that was in business for 50 years until 1994. When the costume company went out of business, our collector bought out their entire stock of costumes and masks. Collegeville is one exit west of us on Route 422. On the right, you will find the glitzing sequined mummer costumes. The mummers are a Philadelphia tradition, and their first official parade was on New Year's Day in 1901. The history of the mummers is as colorful as their costumes and began as rivalries between Philadelphia neighborhoods. Don't miss the giant peeps included in this display.
Well, gang, let's salute all the good people who are out there working for a living. How about Sunday morning never, let Sunday pass on by. I'll be working here forever, at least until I die. Darn if you do, and darn if you don't. But once I get a raise next week, you know darn well I won't. I'll be working for a living, working for a living, working. I'm taking what I'm giving, 'cause I'm working for a living. Working for a living isn't bad at all when you have as much fun working as we do, right, guys? So hang around and enjoy the pizza. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're taking what they're giving because we're working for a living.
Mary, Mo, and Jack, better known as the Pep Boys, who started their business in Philadelphia in 1921. beautiful Dodge 440 Corvette from 1968. This car represents the muscle car era, and it is a smooth and a fast ride. The Maytag Repairman. Jesse White is pictured here, and he was the first of 5 men to play this part in Maytag's commercials. Before we make this last turn, it would be a good time to tell you that we do group, corporate, and student tours, as well as birthday parties and scavenger hunts here at the American Treasure Tour. It is a relic of the old BF Goodrich Tire Factory. This little fire truck would take 2 workers around the huge factory and aid in putting out small machine fires, taking first aid to workers and in the cleanup of chemical spills. As we round the corner, look right to find a 1948 Hudson Commodore. Hudson was the first car manufacturer in the United States to hire a female designer. Her name was Betty Thatcher, and she designed dashboards. On the left, there is a 1934 Buick, a beautifully styled automobile. This automobile has suicide doors that open opposite each other. If you like classic movies, this was the style car that would be the getaway car for the bank robbers. On the right, there is a 1909 Sears and Roebuck motor buggy that one could order out of the Sears catalog. This is the car that looks like a carriage. It was $395 when it was new and features a tiller bar rather than a steering wheel. The wooden wheels are attired with hard rubber. That is where the word tire comes from. Next to the Sears auto buggy is the 1949 Ford. Observe how fast the automotive industry advanced in 40 years, from the Sears car to this Ford. The last 2 cars on the right are the Crossleys. They were very small cars in an era when most Americans were looking for large automobiles. Crosley didn't make his fortune in automobiles, but was famous for his radios. He sold thousands of radios that, along with other brands, helped put all the band organs and Nickelodeons out of business.
And once you're done the tour, you come into, of course, the gift shop, but also there's a whole bunch more stuff to see that's not for sale. There's a whole walking tour as well. So we're gonna walk through this whole place and see what else we can find. Bird statues, player pianos, organs. There's even a player accordion up there. While I've seen my share of player pianos in my day, I've never seen this many all at once, but I have never once, I don't believe, ever seen a player banjo. That is something else. They have a couple of them, like there's a player violin, a whole orchestra, look at this. A couple different banjos, even a tambourine and triangle. Incredible stuff. Yeah, all it needs is Kermit. That definitely needs some Rainbow Connection coming out of that, because that would be awesome. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of movie posters back here, including one for a Jim Henson related production. We have The Adventures of Pinocchio, which the Jim Henson Creature Shop made Pinocchio for. Or did they make Jonathan Taylor Thomas? I always get that confused. The scale of this dollhouse is just incredible. It's quite massive. This is not just a mansion, it's a whole mega mansion from the Victorian era that's just wild. It's still going. It even has its own fountain over here. I like how this dollhouse has glass, or I guess maybe plastic walls, so you can see through it to the inside of the dollhouse. It's really, really incredible. Check out all these old radios. This one's actually a old style jukebox. You have a bunch of the discs there, that I guess the plates that records would go on, and you'd pick which record you're going to listen to right there. Many of you may not know this, but I was a drummer for some time, and my first real drum set was a Tama Rockstar Deluxe. double bass. This is only a single bass with 3 racks and a tom. It was awesome. My drum kit also had a black head like that, but instead of being white, it was purple. So imagine a purple and black double bass Tama Rockstar Deluxe, and you have a good feeling of what I was rocking out with. Whoa, Dave, I know you've been here before, but this is just something else. I know you used to make jokes about Annabelle, but wow, this is a whole section here. I mean, it just keeps going and going of Raggedy Ann and Andy merch. Wow, all right. This will give you nightmares if you're scared of Raggedy Ann and Andy, because it's a whole lot of them. Here we have a giant painting of Muppet Show guest star Liberace from 1981. Of course, that's the reason they painted this, just because he was on the Muppet Show, obviously. Over here we have a whole bunch of phones from over the years. Just wild stuff. Check out this elephant one. More like modern ones from the 80s. I've always loved these see-through ones. Here's the first picture phone. Man, I remember those commercials. Do you know the future, and you know the company that's going to bring it to you is AT&T, and apparently they did for like a minute, and then Apple completely stole their thunder. Hey kids, do you know how to use this phone? That's called a rotary phone, and what you would do is you'd have to put your number in 1 digit at a time. Wait till it went all the way to this little thing right here. And the Raggedy Ann and Andy merch just keeps going on the other side as well. I have to tell you, I was a big fan of the Raggedy Ann and Andy movie back in the 70s, 80s. That's kind of what this design is from. But my favorite character from that whole line was the camel with the wrinkled knees. That is my favorite Raggedy Ann and Andy character. You don't see him on a lot of stuff, but when you do, gotta point him out. Here's an old switchboard. An example of how it works is right here with this Lily Tomlin record. Lily Tomlin, of course, worked with the Muppets on the special The Muppets Go to the Movies, which is why she's here on the tour. Here we have some more novelty phones. They even have the very sought-after Kermit phone. There's a butterfly phone. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Strawberry Shortcake, Annie, some kids' phones. All kinds of ways that you could reach out and touch someone. I think every kid had one of these phones, right? These Fisher-Price tug phones. I think every kid had one of these. I feel like singing It's a Small World After All, but I won't, because I don't want a copyright strike. Goofy's always watching. Check out the absolutely spectacular wood inlay on these music boxes. Up in the rafters, we have a whole bunch of records, and if you look closely, you can see the best of Bert, Big Bird Sings, Bert's Blockbusters, and The Count Counts. Lots of record albums on the walls as well. How many Muppet Show guest stars can you name? I see Chris Christopherson and Rita Coolidge, Anne Murray, John Denver, David Bowie from Labyrinth, Elton John, Andy Williams, Leo Sayer, Crystal Gale, Paul Simon, Kenny Rogers, Petula Clark, and Linda Ronstadt. These are just really interesting dioramas. This is like a guy's bunker. I guess when the world collapses, he's gonna live in this cave with his solar panels, with his canned goods and a couple of books and a cello. 'Tis a man's world. I guess this is some guy's cabin. He's building a boat. He's got some guns up there. His dog's by the fire. He's got a revolver just sitting on the rug, because you never know when someone's gonna try to steal one of your model cars, I guess. He's ready to fish, to hunt, to explore microorganisms, and sail the 7 seas, of course. Wow, look at this player piano. It even has a screen to it, so you could watch a video while the player piano was playing. Check out all these old projectors and reel-to-reel tape machines. Old cameras, cassette decks, radios, and as Doc Brown would say, one of the first portable movie studios. I've seen some big cellos in my day, but that one, takes the cake. 2 Muppet guests in one. We have Christopher Reeve and Richard Pryor from the Muppet movie, who was supposed to be on the Muppet Show, but sadly had to cancel at the last minute. I think that's literally the look on the producer's face when they found out that Richard Pryor had to cancel at the very last minute. There's a Heart Beeps poster featuring Andy Kaufman, who worked with the Muppets on The Great Miss Piggy Show, and Bernadette Peters, who was a guest star, of course, on The Muppet Show. Here's the poster for 9 to 5, featuring Dabney Coleman, who, of course, cameoed in The Muppets Take Manhattan, Lily Tomlin, who, again, worked with the Muppets on The Muppets Go to the Movies, and Dolly Parton, who had the Muppets on a couple of her TV specials. Here's a poster of Muppet Show and Muppet movie guests, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy. Here's a Rocky poster, of course, featuring Muppet Show guest star Sylvester Stallone. The Sound of Music with Muppet Show guest Julie Andrews. Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly, which of course he did sing on the Muppet Show. Of course, there's honorary Muppet Yoda, Muppet Tonight guest Whoopi Goldberg, Michelle Pfeiffer, Heather Locklear, Muppet Show guest Brooke Shields, Art Carney, who of course made a cameo appearance in the Muppets Take Manhattan, Muppets Tonight guest Garth Brooks. Here's a Big Bird Plus just kind of chilling out. Some interesting homemade cutouts of Cookie Monster, Bert, and Ernie. Here we have some more homemade cutouts. Now we have Baby Kermit, Cookie Monster, Big Bird, Bert, Ernie, and Miss Piggy. Here's a whole bunch of teddy bears, and as you can see, sprinkled throughout, there's Bear from Bear in the Big Little House, and not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different Fozzie Bear plush. This guy's raising the roof because we found some Muppets. We have a whole bunch of VHS and CEDs, 3D glasses. There's a copy of the Muppet movie on VHS back there. There's a whole bunch of classic TVs. Check this one out. It has like a cassette deck and VCR all built into it. They even have the Ark of the Covenant. I mean, hey, Indy, this is what you've been looking for, right? Just don't open it, because I think your face melts. Here's a few people that bring the American Treasure Tour to life.
Hi, I'm Kate, and I've been working at the Treasure Tour for about a year and a half now, I'd say.
What's your favorite part of the tour?
Oh my gosh, all of it. I'm a big fan of the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. That's actually one of the reasons I started working here. But then I saw how many like Muppet items they had, and I was just like, yes! Because I'm also a very big Muppets fan.
Well, I'm glad we came and talked to you then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, everybody. This is Nick. I've worked here for about, I would say, a little over 2 years, and I'm the tram driver here. There's 2 walking tours you can do, which is the music room, where we have tons of Nickelodeons, dance hall organs, tons of stuff that you can come in and listen to, as well as miniatures, collectibles. And then there's also a classic car walking tour you can do. But the main thing, I'm the tram driver. There's just thousands upon thousands pieces of Americana you can see here on the tour. That's where you see the bulk of the collection. It's the best job I've ever had. I truly love it here. I start to feel like, you know, I've done it so many times. I take pride in it like it's my own collection. If you have any type of nostalgia or appreciate any vintage aesthetics or have collected things, this is the place for you. Little bonus note is we have an audio guide that plays for the tram, but the whole month of October, we actually have a different audio that plays that kind of highlights some of the weirder items. And that only runs in October. So I totally advise you to come out and see that.
My name is Ashley. I'm the manager of the American Treasure Tour Museum. Been here for about 3 years. I've been managing operations for about 2 years here at the museum. And I would say my favorite thing about the museum is the mechanical music machines.
Not the Muppets.
No, the Muppets are fantastic. They're a close second.
It should be a very
Very close second.
Here's a few more things we spotted on our tour. And be on the lookout for some hidden Muppets. And now that we've come to the end of the tour, of course, we wound up in the gift shop. And I happened to notice in this stack of postcards, they have a postcard of many of their Muppets. We have a giant Kermit, a giant Cookie Monster, Rizzo, the Bert, Ernie, Big Bird, and the Count animatronics. So, of course, I have to pick this up as a souvenir for my tour. And that's gonna do it for this video. We wanna thank the American Treasure Tour for hosting us. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite item from this video was. Please be sure to follow us on all our social media channels, and I'll see you next time.
And if you come here, you'll be like, oh my God, that guy did not oversell this place. It is absolutely that off the wall and insane. It'll blow your mind.